Thank you. And so we will be obviously recording, and the link will be posted in the Facebook group. And once again, if you're not yet a part of the Facebook group, please send to me a text with your email address or an email with your email address. It's a private Facebook group for now. It will not be private anymore next week or the week after that. I'm not really sure how long that will persist, but it's a private Facebook group right now, and it requires an invitation to get in it. And that is where I post the daily schedules and so on. Also, if any of you have submitted an application to your sponsor, your enroller, that is fantastic. I also would like to receive a copy of it so that I can so we can create the database in the right fashion. So let us all begin right here. And I also will describe this fact. You all know it to be true. This is the very first time that I have introduced this compensation plan. I'm quite confident that I'm not going to make any factual errors, but it is the first time that I've delivered it. And so if in fact tomorrow or the next day I come back and amend something that I said, please know in advance that I would not be horribly surprised if, given it's the very first time, that I misstate something along the way. If I find that that's true, I will come back very, very quickly and clean it all up so that we have correct information. So first of all, on the very front page, I'm going to go right straight by the document. That's how I encourage us always to teach it, such that the document is the ruling body. Of course, the marketing message, we're going to get paid in 1 minute. That's very, very important. But there are 5 compensation plan components. I indicated in the earliest, my very first time I started talking about the comp plan, this is the single simplest, easiest thing to describe I have ever seen in all of my years in direct selling. This is the compensation plan document. And anyone who has not received it, it's been described many, many, many times in the various sessions, that what one has to do is send to me a request for it, and then I send it to you, just the same way as the applications. So anyone who has sent me a text asking for it or an email, then they have received this document. If you've not received it yet, I apologize. You won't have it for this session, but send me that request or send it to Samantha, and we will then send you the PDF so you have it in front of you. Okay, the single easiest compensation plan I have ever seen to describe. This may be the first time in my career where I can anticipate that a wide majority of the participants are going to be able to properly articulate what the plan is without having to have a video or an upline leader introducing it for them. 5 compensation plan components. Throughout my career, I've had 10, 11, 12 compensation plan components. Nobody could ever figure it out. And they've all had all kinds of different complexities in it. The simplest thing I've ever seen. First of all, we start with fast start bonuses. Turn your page over. Fast start bonuses are what? We come up here to the little map that Samantha drew for us up here on the left-hand side. What do we see? We see these 5 different, my finger just got stuck in my chair here. Wow, that's a real problem. Okay, you out of that? Problem solved just like that. Oh, gosh, it looks so easy to be me, and it's just really a challenge sometimes. Okay, 5 compensation plan components.
It
We're
doesn't
talking
look
first.
easy. I don't know why
It
you always
looks
say that.
easy. It looks easy.
No, it looks really,
Okay.
really difficult.
Okay. 5 comp plan components. The first one is this: a fast start bonus. How does a fast start bonus get triggered? A fast start bonus is very simple. This is the commission that one receives when you refer a new member. That new member acts upon that information. And remember that when a person acts on that information, they enroll. And as soon as we begin processing credit cards, they will act upon the information. As soon as they act upon the information, 1 minute later, you receive a commission check. And somebody asked for my telephone number for the to send the documents. My phone number is area code 813-990-7651. I ask that you do not just spontaneously call me, because it's a very rare moment when I can spontaneously pick it up. You can send text to me and ask for a call time, but some of you are calling me spontaneously. I want to pick it up. It's not that I don't want to, but I'm very, very rarely right now just available for a call that has not been scheduled. So please send a text. We'll set it up. And by the way, schedule all requests for time with me with Samantha. Okay, back to the comp plan. Fast start bonuses. We have 3 entry options in our company. The first entry option is a starter pack. A starter pack. The new member pays $175. I'm not going to describe right now the various differences in the packs, except to tell you broadly the larger packs have templates than the smaller packs. The larger packs allow you to send more emails than the smaller pack. The larger pack allows you to have a longer recording than the smaller pack. And of course, the larger pack lends to duplication of the larger pack, which will trigger larger commissions. It's not a discussion right now of the various strategies behind the packs. It is a compensation plan discussion. If someone that you introduce, you invite somebody to be on the Zoom next hour, They act on it the moment the company starts processing. If they acquired a starter pack, you'll receive a $50 direct sale commission 1 minute after that application is completed. And that also, in addition to paying you a $50 direct sale commission, that puts 100 points into the binary tree on whichever side of the tree that person is placed in your organization. Excuse me, coughing here. $175, 50 direct sales commission, 100 points in the tree. That is called the starter pack. The second option is the elite pack. The elite pack, right here on your document. The elite pack is $350. That has with it an immediate 1 minute later $100 direct sales commission. It puts 200 points in the tree. And then the Pro Pack, and again, what is the advantage for the Pro Pack? It is simply more recording minutes in the videos, more videos in total which can be sent, more templates and more customized templates. And we'll go through all of this as we continue to learn, grow, develop, and become, as we continue to get the information into people that understand all the various advantages. But the comp plan component is just this simple. Starter pack, $175, a $50 direct sales commission, 100 points goes into the tree. An elite pack, $350, $100 direct sales commission, 200 points goes in the tree. The Pro Pack is $700. It is a $200 direct sale commission, 400 points in the tree. That is the first compensation plan component. Remember, I said it's the simplest thing you can possibly imagine. If you get stuck and you're trying to figure out, okay, I don't remember the numbers, keep two thoughts in your mind. It is $50, it is $100, and it is $200 in direct sales commissions. In terms of points, it is 100, 200, 400. Another way that you can think of it is that direct sales commissions are basically 29% of the entry value. That's what it is, what it adds up to. It's 29% of the entry value. That's compensation plan component one. Compensation plan component two is what? Compensation plan component two is team commissions. And so here, of course, what do we know? This is you, and we all have a right leg and a left leg. Whenever there are 200 volume points in the right leg and 200 volume points in the left leg, that will immediately, at that moment in time, trigger a commission. It is called a cycle. And that commission is $25. Now, earlier, I saw a text stream going on between a couple of people, or maybe I was forwarded one, I'm not sure. But it talked about people being introduced to the company and having hesitation because of the word binary. I share that. I've not been a binary advocate. And those of you who know me well know that's true. And so let me explain to you how and why. I will tell you that generally speaking, I remain not a binary advocate. I am, however, an incredible advocate of this iteration of binary. And I will explain that to you. I'm going to bring over here another whiteboard so I can draw this out for you as closely as I can and not make a mess of what Samantha's drawn for me here. I would be very dissatisfied and be unhappy if somebody said, oh my gosh, Randy said something bad about some person or about some company. It is not what I'm doing. You'll hear me use these phrases all the time. That which is measured can be improved. If we don't have knowledge, we can't act upon it. This is not a criticism of any company or any comp mechanism. It is an illustration of why I would not be an advocate. And so if we go to, and by the way, this company has no longer exists, it's been purchased, but in the recent time in our industry, there was one company that grew very, very quickly and expanded around the world called Jeunesse Global. Now, notice that it's not around anymore. And so there are some things about what they did that we can learn that are good, that we should mimic and mirror. There are some things we learned from what they did that we absolutely should not mimic and mirror, and we should run far, far, far away. And so how exactly did that work? Well, once again, two sides, but in this iteration, in the Jeunesse Global iteration of a binary compensation plan, in order to generate that cycle, remember over here we have our company, and I said we have to have 200 points here and 200 points here, and that would trigger a $25 cycle. Well, in the example of Jeunesse, there would be a requirement to have 600 points here and 300 points here to create a cycle. Well, and by the way, in Jeunesse Global, one would certainly pay more than $1 to get that one volume point, wouldn't they? It might cost $1.50 to get a volume point. And so I have 600 volume points here and 300 volume points here, probably take around $1,500. The combination of 600 here, 300 points here, it probably took $1,500 to get those 900 points. That then triggers a $35 cycle. Well, if we take 900 points, recognize that it took $1,500 to get those 900 points to create one $35 cycle, it's about 1%, 1.5%. And that's why I've not been an advocate, because people just don't get paid quickly enough. Well, now come over here. It's 200 points and 200 points. Well, that's a lot different, isn't it? It's fewer than half as many points. And so then consider a $25 cycle, a $25 commission as a reflection of 400 points is a doubling in income. It is literally twice if, in fact, this was not $1,500, but just nine, if it was point for point in the purchase of those tangible products, which we know it is not. And so, why, when people have heard me not be an advocate of binary, am I now so vocally and visibly saying this is not just good, it's great? It's because the thresholds were lowered to a point where the trigger happens so much more quickly. And as a percentage, a $25 direct sales commission on 400 total points is very, very, very attractive and very lucrative. And so the second way that one generates income is in the team commissions. That is represented, let me find my eraser here, that is represented in the cycle of the binary. And so every time one has 200 points here and 200 points here, that then creates a cycle. Now, I said that I'd be teaching you specifically and exactly how to make $10,000 in your very first check. And so I'm going to come back to this in a few moments. But at the outset, we start out simply teaching the compensation plan component so you understand it. And what is the compensation plan component? Team commissions. Every time you have 200 points on each side of your business, whenever that happens, that will trigger a $25 commission. And no matter how frequently that happens over the course of a month, there is no limit until you get clear to $50,000 per month. That cycle can add up to $50,000 per week, excuse me. That cycle can add up to numbers that are absurd, to numbers that most people will never aspire to. There are numbers that the vast majority don't need to be overly concerned with. And so the cycle, $25, each time there's 200 points here and 200 points here. Now, what creates the points? When a person enrolls, 100 points go to the tree. When a person enrolls, 200 points go to the tree. When a person enrolls, 400 points go to the tree. That is what is creating the volume, which creates the cycle. And so we'll go on. I'll come to the questions in a second. And so 200 here, 200 here, $25 cycle, paid instantly on the moment, up to a maximum of $50,000 per week, not month, paid in this particular compensation plan component. Okay? That is team commissions. And again, I've taught now the concept of team commissions. We'll show you in a few moments how to turn that concept into a measurable dollar figure for those of you who have a specific stated need. And by the way, I want you all to have a specific stated need. If your bills are all paid, you have no debt, your mortgage is paid for, and your house or your mortgage is paid off, and your cars are all paid off, all that stuff, you still have a need to make money right now in this. Why? Because proof of income is, was, and will always be the lubrication that greases the wheels of all productivity in this nature of enterprise. We all need proof of income, irrespective of the size of your bank balance, whether that balance is positive or negative. We all need proof of income. And so this immediate daily pay and the cycles being at such a low level will create those initial daily incomes, initial upfront immediate incomes that cause other people to want to do the same thing. Okay, the third compensation plan component, just stick the next one over. The third compensation plan component after team commissions is the matching bonus. How does the matching bonus work? The very best money that any of us could ever earn in this kind of enterprise would be the money that comes because other people earn. If I'm earning money because someone is trying, that's not good money. If I'm earning money because somebody is trying really, really, really hard, that's not good money. If I'm earning money because people are spending, that's not good money. What is the good money? It's money that we earn because others earn. That's the magic. I mean, that's really what it's all about, folks. If we can focus our energies and our attentions on two comp plan components, if we can focus them on two, the first one, direct sales commissions, because if we don't earn a large number of direct sales commissions, we won't give the process a chance. Yes, it's absolutely true. You can enroll one person on the right and one person on the left. And if a lightning bolt happens to strike, they'll both become superstars. You'll make a bunch of money. I'm not willing to count on lightning bolts, and I hope you're not either. And so the first thing is that each person should have a stated objective to earn a significant number of direct sales commissions, because that is what sets in motion the possibility. That's when we're bringing other people into the business. And I think that it's complete folly for a leader to propose or suggest or expect someone to do something that we're not doing. We must all be the standard in personal enrolling and recruiting. So focus on that one. And then the second thing I would encourage you to focus on is focusing on helping other people make money. If I focus on my own result, the outcome is never going to be that great. If instead I focus on your result and let my outcome be a positive side effect of your positive result, then great things can occur. Well, now we come to the matching bonus. This is a focal point. It should be for all of us. Why? Because this is now money we are earning because other people are earning, as opposed to money that we're earning because others are spending or trying, right? And so how does it work? It pays 2 generations deep. So whenever a personal enrollment earns a cycle of $25, so I am Randy, I enroll Bob. Bob has 200 points here and 200 points here. He earned a cycle. His cycle was $25. I brought him to the party. And because I brought him to the party and I personally enrolled him, that means it's generation one. I will earn a matching bonus of $2.50, 10% of the 25 that he earned. And no matter how many times he earns that cycle, what if Bob starts earning 10 cycles a week? Well, then it's no longer $25, then it's $250, and my matching commission would be 25. What if Bob suddenly starts doing 100 every week? Well, now it's 250. What if he's got 1,000 cycles? So it's ongoing, and there is no limitation. Remember, there's a $50,000 per week limitation on the team commissions, which comes out of the cycles in the binary. There is no limitation on the matching bonus, and that is as it should be, because our principal focus should be on 2 things: behaving in the way we want our members to behave. And that means that we enroll ourselves, not counting on others to do it. That shows up in direct sales commissions. And then what we want our members to do. We want our members to make certain they are responsible sponsors and that people in their groups make money. That's what we should do. We should be focusing on making sure that people we enroll have a positive financial experience. When the person we enroll makes money, we earn a 10% matching bonus. And then that plays out the next generation as well. If I'm Randy and I enroll Bob, Bob earns a team commission on a given day. Let's say he had 10 cycles today. His 10 cycles paid him $250. Well, today, over the course of the day, I would have received 10 separate items of $25 each. What if suddenly Bob starts doing 1,000 cycles a week? Now he's making $25,000 in those cycles, and I'm making $2,500 as a matching bonus. What if he starts making $50,000 a week? What if he's cycling that many times? Then I will earn a 10% matching bonus. What if Bob is so good, so diligent, and has subordinated his success to the success of others? And so now suddenly Bob is thinking, I've got to go out there and I've got to earn matching bonuses. Yeah, I want to earn in the binary, but I want my people to make money. And so suddenly Bob is earning 10 matching bonuses on his generation one. Guess what? Those are your generation two, and you get 10% of those as well. And so the third component, matching bonus, it is 10%. 10% of what? 10% of the team commission. What creates the team commission? $25 per cycle, 200 here, 200 here. What creates the volume? Entries. And what creates the volume? Ongoing maintenance. We'll come back to that later. Every single time that cycles, your new member receives a commission. If you're the enroller, you get a 10% match. If you are the grandfather of the enroller, right? So it's now, if I enroll someone myself, I'm the papa. If they enroll one, I'm the grandfather. When you're in the grandfather zone, then you earn 10% matching bonuses on Gen 1 and Gen 2. That is the matching bonus. Next comes rank advancement bonuses. And by the way, again, reiterate, this is the single simplest mechanism I have ever seen. Easy to describe. By the time we've lived this for a week, there should be no confusion on anyone's part about what exactly turns the income wheel. Rank advancement commissions. Ranks. We're going to come around to describe what it takes to get to those ranks. But rank advancement commissions are what? When you become a 3-star, the very first time you hit 3-star, that day you're going to receive a rank advancement commission of $500. And so you say, okay, Randy, well, what does that mean? What does it take for me to become a 3-star? Well, you come right over here to this page where it says ranks, and it says, okay, when I have one weekly cycle, that means I've got 200 points on the left and 200 points on the right, and that happens one time this week. Then I will earn $25 per cycle, and I'll be considered a bronze. That is the first rank. That's what happens when you have one cycle per week. If in your organization you have 5 cycles per week, that's a silver. And 5 cycles means what? Simple math. 5 times 25 as a silver. 5 cycles per week pays $125. $125 in what? $125 in team commissions. Excuse me, I'm sorry. $125 in team commissions. And those team commissions are what create what? The matching bonus. And so you see the whole thing just leads piece to piece to piece. It's like a beautiful waterfall that cascades with each component correctly leading to the next component, correctly leading to the next component. Starts out with our own productivity. That productivity turns into team commissions. Team commissions properly done turn into matching bonuses because we're helping our people make money. That results in us growing in rank. Every time we reach a new rank, we receive a one-time rank advancement commission. When we become a gold, it's $250. When we become I'm sorry, when we become a 1-star, that means 20 cycles. When we become a 2-star, that means 30. 3-star is 50 cycles, and so on. All clearly identified here. There should be no confusion on that. Okay. And so that is how the rank advancement bonuses work. They're one time. They start very, very small. The first rank advancement commission is $500 when you're a 3-star, which is a tiny little business. When you become Diamond Elite, it is $5,000. Okay, one-time payment. That is the rank advancement bonus. And then we come to the leadership pool. What is the leadership pool? This is revenue sharing for all of the people who are living at the top of the plan. Living at the top of the plan. What does living at the top of the plan mean? Living at the top of the plan means that you are a blue diamond. And if one is a blue diamond, then let's find out exactly how many cycles that requires. Get over here to the right page again. Pretty soon, folks, I'll know all of this stuff, and I won't have to check the document, but I'm wanting to make sure I don't make any mistakes. When one is a blue diamond, that means that you have 500 weekly cycles. Okay, now to make this make sense for it, because some of you, I can see your brain breaking a little bit. I don't have my calculator here in front of me. 500 weekly cycles. 500 weekly cycles means what? Simply take 500 weekly cycles times 400. That's what it takes to create the cycle. That tells you how much volume is required to live at the top of the plan. And so if you have 500 weekly cycles, take 500 times 400. What do you got? 500 times 400, $200,000. And so when you have $200,000 in weekly volume, what creates weekly volume? What creates weekly volume are new member applications, starter pack, 100 points, elite pack, 200 points, professional pack, 400 points. That's what creates volume. And what creates volume? When on an ongoing monthly basis, people pay the monthly fee, which is determined by their entry pack. And so whenever that volume, so long as it is each occurring, I mean, you could have all runaway volume in one leg, and that of course wouldn't do it. But when those 500 packs are contained inside an envelope, where there's 500 here and 500 here, $200,000 in volume. Those $200,000 in volume will create all kinds of other income components, as we've seen going through it. But what it will also do is give you an equal share in a 1% portion of entire global sales, 1% of entire global sales being split among those people who live at the top of the plan. Top of the plan being 500 cycles left, 500 cycles right every week. That will create enormous checks. And notice what I said, there were some important words. An equal percentage payout. In some comp plans, there's been a tendency over the years to move more and more and more and more of the money to the absolute very top, the absolute pinnacle, the top. The majority of these leadership type bonuses would be paid out on a prorated basis. In other words, that we're not all being paid equally, but that those who are living at the top of the plan with the top rank, some will have higher incomes and some lower, because some volumes will go way beyond the comp plan requirement to be at that blue diamond rank. In this particular case, and it's what I support entirely, it is an equal participation among all. 1% of the global sales of this company will wind up being an enormous amount of money sometime. It will be a relatively small number of people who ever go to that very top of the plan, simply because people do arrive at something that I've long described as income satiety much sooner than they might guess or that you might guess. A person tells me they want to make $10,000 a month, and they start making $5,000 and stop working. So what they really wanted was $5,000 a month. They just didn't understand that. A person that's making $20,000, they might have told me they want to make $80,000 a month. They want to make $1 million a year. They start making $20,000 a month and they stop working. And so what they really wanted was the life that would be created by making $20,000 a month. They didn't do it was required to go to 30. So there always winds up being a few outliers who have enormously more volume than others, because a handful of people just keep pushing it to go all the way to whatever the max possibility is. I'm among that kind of person. I'll do that here. But if one of you is living at the absolute, you're number one in the whole company in terms of volume, and I'm just barely qualifying, I'm just inching into that bonus pool, you and I will get the same amount. I think that is the way that it should be, and it makes that target an attainable target. It's not like, oh my gosh, the person who got here first, they've got the biggest volume, they're always going to run away with it. Folks, that's the compensation plan. Fast start bonus. Once again, reiterate, what is it? When we enroll a new person, if they buy a starter pack, that pays you $50. You get it paid 1 minute later. It brings the 100 points into the tree. Why does that matter? Because the tree is what generates team commissions. If you enroll a person with an elite pack, that's $350, $100 in direct sales commission, 200 points go into the tree. Once again, why does that matter? Because the tree is what creates not only the team commission, but that's also what creates the matching bonus. And if you enroll a new person with the pro pack, what happens? A $700 entry fee, $200 direct sales commission, 400 points goes into the tree. And so you see, if you had one person enroll with a pro pack on the left side, one person enroll with a pro pack on the right side, you would get two separate direct sales commissions, and you would have 400 points here, 400 points here. That would create two cycles. Okay? It's very, very, very simple. About the most simple and most easily described compensation plan that I've ever seen. Now, what I indicate, oh, by the way, I don't want to leave this thought yet. What about residual? On the residual income, there is a percentage of the monthly fee. So if one acquires a starter pack, the monthly fee is $20. Okay? The monthly fee, that's what it costs to use the service. People pay $20 to use that service. Out of that $20, 10 falls into the matrix, or not into the matrix. 10 falls into the binary. If a person has acquired the elite pack, they have a $40 monthly fee, and of that $40, 20 falls into the binary. If you have someone who acquired the biggest pack, then $50 is what they pay on a monthly basis, and 25 of that falls into the binary. And so when we earn a direct sales commission, that's immediate money. And at the time that we earn that direct sales commission, it moves money into the binary. Whenever a person pays the monthly fee month after month after month, that is the residual part. The entry fee, that's transaction. If we have more people who enroll next month, that money will go up. If we have next week, more, that money will go up. If we have fewer that would enroll, that will go down. The residual is the part that only goes up, just goes up and up and up and up and up. Smaller numbers, residual income, getting paid again and again and again for something you do, that takes longer. Transaction income, you can go out and do it, provoke it, make it happen right now. That's shorter, it's more immediate. Now, I told you that I promised you that I would show you how to make $10,000 in your very first week. And in fact, I'm going to encourage you all to have a target. I'm a very, very target driven person. There you can see my target. If I have a target, I just might hit it. But what if I have no target? If we're vague and ambiguous on the front end, then we're going to be vague and ambiguous on the back end. And so, what is my personal target? By the way, my personal target makes absolutely no difference to you, but I'm illustrating the way that my mind works in the hopes that I can cause your mind to work in a similar fashion in terms of having a target. If we have a specific target, then we might hit it. And far too frequently, people allow ambiguities and vagueness. If I'm vague on the front, I'm going to be vague on the back end. So what is my target? This is my target. Might sound absolutely ridiculous to you, but I had an experience back in 2004 where my very first check from a direct selling company was $86,000. Unbelievable, right? And that made the next couple of years so incredibly easy. I didn't have to look for people. They called me. I made them out of the woodwork. Are you kidding me? You made $86,000 your first day. How in the world did you do that? I cannot possibly overstate the importance of making an impact literally at the first day. And so and by the way, I don't know how all of you feel about your current development in life. What I feel is that I'm at my best. I mean, I'm better than I've been before. I know more than I knew in prior periods of success. I behave differently, and I think more appropriately in many respects than I did in an earlier time in my life. I've pushed myself against the grinding wheel of life incredibly hard for a long time. And I believe that the current iteration of me is the best iteration so far in my life. Well, if that's true, then I should be able to perform at a higher level than I ever have before. And so I had one experience in times past where my very first check in a company was $86,000. My target is very simple, 86,001. That's my target. I have a deep desire to prove to myself that I can do more today than I once did. Now, what my goals and objectives are and why they exist don't make any difference. What are your goals and objectives? Why do they exist? And then let's put a plan in action to accomplish your goals, whatever they are. And so I have an objective to earn $86,000 in my first check. Is that possible? Sure, it's possible. Is it likely? No. One thing I learned a long time ago is to completely ignore and forget what's likely. Who cares? Let's contemplate on what's possible. What's likely makes no difference. Is it likely? That was a lightning in the bottle. Up until now, once in a lifetime experience. I think the lightning's in the bottle again. And so I'm going to give it every single chance to be a twice in a lifetime experience, not a once in a lifetime experience. So that's an absurd figure. I want to make $86,000. How am I going to do it? Well, every cycle creates $25. And so I simply take that $86,000 number, I divide it by 25 because that's the number. That means that on the very first day, if I want to earn $86,000, I need to have 3,440 cycles on the very first day. Well, if I want to have 3,440 cycles on the first day, the way to do that is to take those 3,440 cycles, divide it by, in my case, I'm using the divisor as 400 points, or multiply it by, that tells you I need to do $1,376,000 in volume, right? Remember back in 2004, I introduced a company, I introduced a bunch of people to a company and did $2 million in volume the first day. And so the idea of doing $1,376,000 in volume the first day is not a daunting idea for me. So identify the number. What is your number? Is your number, I told you that I would show you how to make $10,000 in income on the very first day. Well, first of all, recognize that I have not factored into this at all any team commissions, because there are a variety of ways to create volume. One way is to be a very, very prolific enroller, and one is a very prolific enroller, then that will create these direct sales commissions. Each direct sales commission that we earn would then reduce the number of cycles we would have to meet our target. But for right now, because I don't know your method of building, I don't know if you're an aggressive enroller where you can have quite a few of these direct sales commissions, or if you're more one. And by the way, I know people who are tremendously successful both ways. Some enroll a relatively smaller number of people, invest themselves completely and totally in helping that person succeed. Sometimes I view that as a little bit of a cop-out. It just simply means that I'm asking you to do. It's easier for me to teach you how to do it than for me to do it myself. I've always thought that's kind of a cop-out, but there are a lot of people who do that well, do it better than me. And so I'm not going to factor direct sales commissions into it all. So if you want to make $10,000 the very first day, how are we going to do it? Well, we're going to take $10,000 and we're going to divide that by 25, right? We're going to divide that by 25 because there are $25 per each cycle. And oh my gosh, I don't have my phone here, so I apologize. I'm going to have to do it this way. Hold on one second. So if I, $10,000, hold on here, divided by 25 bucks per cycle, what I have to have are 400 cycles. That's what is needed for me to make $10,000 the first day. I need to have 400 cycles. Now, if I'm going to have 400 cycles, then I can review this a couple of different ways. I can have 100 cycles, and I can simply take this 400. I can compare that to whatever winds up being the average. Okay, now because I believe that this is a remarkable situation, and I believe that this is a screaming deal. So the vast majority of people that I personally enroll will be Pro Packs. Now, that does not mean that I will encourage someone to acquire the Pro Pack for whom it might not be appropriate. That's the last thing I would do. But I'm pretty comfortable saying that 85-90% of the people that I enroll will be operating at the Pro Pack level. And so now I can take these cycles. I have to have 400 cycles, and we can see that every single one of these Pro Packs is going to create 400 points. Okay, that's going to be required. So if I take this $10,000 and I divide that by these 400 points, and that's going to tell me some valid information here. 1 second. I'm sorry. We were just there. So I got $10,000 divided by 400 points. That means that I've got to have 400 cycles. And we know that in order to have 400 cycles, I know that every time I have 200 points here and 200 points here, that creates one of those cycles. And so how many times will I have to do this and this? How many people do I have to bring into the business such that it creates 400 cycles, 400 cycles? Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I just confused myself a little bit, so I probably confused you too. I told you, very first go around would not be perfect. I did the math for myself. 86,000 divided by 25 equals 3,440 cycles times 400 equals 1,376,000. To do your $10,000, take that $10,000 in volume, divide that by 25 cycles. That is 400. Now you take those 400. What does it take to get 400 people into your business at that point in time? That is the number of people that will be required to be in your organization. When I said that I gathered together 2,000 applications, and those 2,000 applications produced $1 million in volume, $2 million in volume, and that produced an $86,000 check. If you want to make $10,000 on day one, what is going to be required is that you have 200 people on this side of your business and 200 people on this side of your business that have an average of 400 points. And so what that really means is, because that's the highest number, we know that some are going to be enrolling with 200 points, some are going to be enrolling with 50 points. Therefore, we probably have to take that 400 and turn that into 600. So you probably got to have 600 applications in your business. 600 applications in your business that have an average of 300 points is what would produce for you on the very first day that the cycles run a $10,000 check the first day. That is mathematically correct. And so now the next question is, well, Randy, that is simply math. What are the business building behaviors that would cause that to occur? That's another topic altogether. What was the point of this discussion? The point of this discussion was to teach you what each of the 5 comp plan components are. And the purpose of this discussion was to ask that each of you establish a target. Don't let it be vague. Don't let it be ambiguous. What do you want your very first check in this company to be? What do you want it to be? Having determined what you want your very first check in this company to be, take that dollar amount and divide it by the number of cycles that are required. So, Paul, if you want your first check in this company to be $5,000, take that $5,000. I know, I'm just using an illustration here. If you want your first check to be $5,000, take 5,000, divide it by 25. That tells you the number of the cycles that are there. Then you can reduce that number if you choose by saying, yes, but I'm an enroller. You, Paul, are an enroller. And so you could say, I want my first check to be $5,000, but I'm going to earn 1,000 of it by sponsoring 5 people at the top and getting 5 $200 direct sales commissions. And so you can reduce the figure that is required in the binary by the number of direct sales commissions you're going to receive. Now, I happen to know that Paul would like his first check to be $10,000 or greater. Very simple. If 10,000 is the number, you take $10,000, divide it by $25 per cycle. That tells you how many cycles you have to have. Then take a look at the number of packages that need to be enrolled in each of the 2 legs, given the volume associated with it, 100, 200, or 400. That tells you the number of people that must be in the tree. Then take a look at the number of days we have between now and then. And do not make the mistake that so many people make of mailing in today and mailing in tomorrow, because we have clear until that last day and we'll gather all the applications. So in my own case, I know I have a really, really, really good idea of the number of people that I have to have in my business to create 3,440 cycles on the very first day. And I've then divided that number of people by the number of days that I have between today and the day the company goes live, because I am not willing to, I simply will not fall behind the curve. I will do the number of enrollments every day that are required so that it steadily and consistently adds up to the number to hit my mark. Now, is there a guarantee that I will hit the mark? In my mind, yes. In my mind, yes. Is there a factual guarantee? No, there is not. But if you want to hit a target, establish a target, and then make a tangible plan and work backwards through that plan such that the logical outcome is hitting the task. Let's break it down again. What if you want to make $1,000 the very first day this company opens? You want to make $1,000? Take that $1,000 and divide it by 25 bucks. That will tell you that you have to have 40 cycles. If you have to have 40 cycles, then we come up here and we say, and how many people do I need to enroll if they're all at 100 points? How many do I have to have on the right side and on the left side to create that? How many do I have to enroll if they're each bringing 200 points? What does the daily application flow have to be? What if I'm doing 400 points? Well, my gosh, to create 40 cycles, if you're doing 400 points with each one, very, very, very little, like very, very, very little. There will be people who are in $1,000 checks the first day whose businesses are remarkably small because it simply does not take very many cycles to create that. And 400 points goes into the tree off each one. Now, folks, I'm completely confident that I've confused some of you, because this was the very first time that I've delivered it. And there were a couple of times when I confused myself. And so I apologize for that. I promise you that I will tighten it up as time goes on. But simplest thing, 5 comp plan components. The comp plan components I want you to focus on are direct sales commissions. And besides focusing on direct sales commissions, focus on the matching bonus. If you focus on those 2, everything's going to work out great. It means that you are holding yourself responsible and accountable to you do personally what you want others to do. That's what's happening. When you're in the game and you're generating direct sales commissions, that means you've taken ownership and you are doing what you want others to do. Focus on that first. Second thing to focus on is to recognize the people who joined you, they want to make money. And so I enroll Paul. Fantastic. Now my focal point is to make absolutely sure that Paul accomplishes his objective. If Paul accomplishes his objective, he wants to make $10,000 the first day. Well, then now we know what will happen. If Paul makes $10,000 the first day, then I will get a 10% matching bonus, and that'll be $1,000. Note also that when I went through this math with you over here, I did not factor into it any direct sales commissions, did I? Not any. And I didn't factor into it any matching bonuses. And so by me using as my volume generator, what I am using as my primary way to get to the 86,000, doesn't include two of the primary components. In fact, the two that we focus on. And so you see, my objective is to earn $86,000 in cycles on the first day. But I will also earn matching commissions because Renee, she wants to make money the first day. And because she wants to make money the first day, then I will get a 10% matching commission. Paul wants to make money the very first day. Bev wants to make money the very first day. I'll bet Tammy wants to make money the very first day. And so you see, the numbers that I've shown you are overstated quite significantly. I did that on purpose. I would like for you to hit your target based upon cycles. If you hit your target based on cycles, then whatever you received in direct sales commissions and whatever you received in matching bonuses is an add-on. And if notwithstanding your best efforts, the cycles don't add up, the truth is you probably only have to do about 50% of the number of cycles because the matching bonuses and direct sales commissions should add up to the other half. Over time, the matching bonus will become bigger than the cycles. If you build a successful organization, the matching bonus will become bigger than the cycles. Now, I don't know it yet because we haven't run the first day, but my guess is that the numbers that I went through for you when I said that I will need to have 3,440 cycles, by definition, by definition, if I have any place close to that, then there will be a large number of matching checks. Renee, what I really believe is that it would take about 2,000 cycles to earn $86,000. Because if you're in 2,000 cycles, that means by definition, people in your group are making money, and that then reduces the amount that is required there. I'm hoping that all made at least some measure of sense to you folks. This is, again, I apologize that I got a little bit confused when it came down to illustrating the exact number of enrollments and so on to create the income. Everything else was absolutely factually correct. And I apologize for any confusion that was there. Take your target, whatever the target is, divide the target by 25 cycles. That's the number of people that you have to have. And then recognize that any direct sales commission that you make, any matching bonus that you make reduces the number of cycles that you have to have. And please, if there's a single thing, if I could just get you all to wrap your arms around this, this is easier to say yes to today than it will ever be. It will not be easier to say yes in 6 weeks when everything's launched, because in 6 weeks, they'll have to say yes and put their credit card on file and have it run that day. Today they can say yes and know they've got 6 weeks until that has to be funded. They can say yes and they can participate on Zooms. I don't want anybody saying yes who are, quote, looking at it, but the truth is they can look at it right now and have a spot in the tree. You can do things in the next 6 weeks that you cannot do in the next 6 weeks. 6 weeks from now, they'll have to pay that moment. Right now, they don't have to. That all by itself is a reason that you can probably add 10 times as many applications in the 6 weeks before the company opens than you can in the 6 week after it opens. And that's why you see this almost ridiculous outpouring of energy on my part right now. Multiple Zooms every day, all these things, just because I know that these days are the precious days. These are the days that we look back in the future and say, thank God I was one of the people who was there at that moment. Okay. I'm hoping that was beneficial. I'm just going to glance at the chats. If they enroll as a pro, do they get commission at the 700 or 200? Okay, so somebody said, if I enroll somebody as a pro, if I enroll someone as a pro, then I will receive a $200 direct sales commission. It's kind of a confusing question that's posted here. But if you enroll somebody, they acquire the pro pack, you will get paid a $200 direct sales commission. And then the next question was, enroll 10 people at the elite pack, and that you get $2,000 the first day too. 100% correct. How do we get more information on the product and the value proposition for each of the 3 packages? Rich, what I would suggest is pop onto the Zoom that's coming up half an hour from now or whenever it is, an hour and a half from now, and ask that question to Bob. Say, Bob, what is the value proposition? Just ask that question. You could also ask that question, and I'll ask Johnny Green to be there and have Johnny respond to it. I know in advance that these are the answers. When a person buys the smallest package, they have not a limited number. I mean, it's 1,000 templates, but they don't get access to as many templates. And I think, for example, I don't know if Deanna's here right now or not, but Deanna Bass is a girl that has branded herself really beautifully in the car business. For Deanna and other people like Deanna, I think that having a customized template is an absolutely beautiful thing. I mean, a template that she gets to say, how is she branding herself, as opposed to picking one of the things that have been pre-designed. I mean, maybe Bev, maybe Bob knew how you wanted to brand yourself, but maybe you're trying to brand yourself not just in this generic way. Maybe you want to be specific to yourself. And so if one is at the smallest package, then they get one personalized template that is branded to you. If they're at the middle package, they get 3. And if they're at the largest package, they get 10. There is also a difference, and this is for me, the one that'll be most impactful. Many of you receive, and I've been horrible at it lately, I know, a lot of moving pieces, but you receive something from me that I call the Daily Dose of Randy. And that Daily Dose of Randy comes up how? It comes up a Bush League video with me talking onto a phone. And I mean, there's nothing about it that is attractive or appealing. I know that. And now suddenly the Daily Dose of Randy is showing up in a branded way, totally different. I mean, Bev, can't you just imagine the perceived value being completely different if it shows up packaged? And so I will have one customized theme that is the Daily Dose of Randy. Now, for me, because quite frequently that daily dose goes more than a minute or two, having the access to the longer recording time will be of value. If a person doesn't need longer recording time, if a person doesn't need the added templates, if a person is not going to need, then the small package is what they should do. People should not buy the large package just to buy the large package. Now, there is the thought to consider that there is the duplication model. And every person is going to say, what did you do? If you have modest income objectives, what did you do? I bought the smallest package because I'm using this to grow my other business, and this is not a primary income objective for me. That's perfect. If you have a primary income objective, if you want to make $10,000 the first day, do not join this with the smallest package, because other people will do the same, and the volume won't add up fast enough. If you want to make 5,000, 7,000, 10,000 bucks the first day, then the preponderance of people in your business need to be at the largest pack. And that's just far more likely to happen if you are at the largest pack. Now, that being said, I have friends on this session right now for whom that would be a financial burden. I don't want one person to justify or rationalize spending money that they can't afford to spend. I don't want anybody feeling financial pressure because of this. There are no comp plan components that pay you differently because you enrolled at the smaller pack. Right? So you do the one that is right for you. Now, if it is convenient and comfortable for you to acquire the larger one, then you should, because the duplication model suggests to me of all my years in business, people are going to say, what did you do? I did this, and here's why. Those for whom it's appropriate will do likewise. Those for whom that is not financially appropriate, you do what is financially appropriate for you. Don't do anything beyond that. Okay. I'm hoping all that helps. Randy knows what he knows, but we don't know. Yes, you can't trust my experience, Jill. That is the truth. Okay. I'm hoping, how long did that take, by the way? Not quite an hour. Easiest thing ever, folks. A year from now, we should have an army full of people who can explain those 5 comp plan components. We will not need to be describing to people a year from now how to make $10,000 in the first day, because it won't be possible. The only people for whom that is possible are you right now, because you're seeing it in advance and you have the opportunity to gather applications when it is the easiest thing in the world to do. Gathering an application when a person doesn't have to pay anything right now is the easiest thing you will ever do. And so this dialogue of how to make a bunch of money right now is dialogue that is only applicable between now and the date the company goes live. Hoping very much all that was at least to some degree beneficial. I'm going to post this in the Facebook group. If any of you are not a part of it, please do send me that message. If any of you have not yet sent me an application and you want to be a part of this, please do. If you've not got the comp plan document, then let me know that as well. Once again, my telephone number is 813-990-7651. I'll get those things turned around to you very quickly. And tonight we still have business presentations at 6 o'clock and at 9 o'clock Eastern time. Folks, every day that goes by, it becomes more obvious to me. And this is also becoming less controversial for people who are in other network marketing companies, less controversial for me. It's being accepted. We're going to do something pretty incredible. And again, I just implore you not to let a day of it go by. God bless everybody. And I will see you back in Bob's meeting room at 6 o'clock Eastern. Hope that was helpful. See everyone. Bye-bye.